Afternoon, folks. I'm Dave Canterbury with Self-Reliance Outfitters and the Pathfinder School. In today's segment of Materia Medica, I thought we'd cover a pretty simple one called Jewelweed. It's a pretty common plant, fairly commonly known, grows in wetland areas, and it is oftentimes falsely called the cure for poison ivy. And we're going to talk about that when we get a closer look here in just a second. Okay, so here's an up-close look at the flower on this jewelweed, and you have another one that looks just like this called Yellow Touch Me Not, and the flower is yellow instead of orange. Other than that, the plant looks almost identical, and they have the same properties. But this one is called the Jewelweed, and you can see it's got some red here in the front and then orange in the back, and it's kind of a trumpet-shaped flower. Now what I want to show you is a little bit more up close on the leaves and the stem of this plant. I'm going to pull this one and break it off real quick and bring it over here so you can see the stem, because this is kind of an important thing to see. You can see this kind of a purplish area at the base of each one of these forks, and that becomes a little bit bulbous as the plant gets bigger. It almost looks like it's holding liquid, but the whole inside of this plant is mucilaginous and it holds liquid inside of it, and that liquid is where the medicinal value of this plant lies. Okay, so this plant is quite a bit larger, and the stem of this single plant is clear back in the middle here, and you can see it has those purple colored bulbs, just a little bit of swelling at each one of these. And again, the doctrine of signatures would tell you that that looks like a bruise, and it's purple like a bruise, and it's swollen. So doctrine of signatures would say that that plant is good for inflammation, and in fact it actually is. And when you talk about jewelweed and its use with poison ivy, jewelweed is not the cure for poison ivy. Jewelweed masks the symptoms of poison ivy because it has a compound in it, or a chemical in it, called lawson, and that is an anti-inflammatory and an antihistamine, which means it takes away the itch and reduces the swelling. That's why people use it for poison ivy. And what you would do is you would cut this off or break it off, and you would split open. You need to split open the inside of this to get to this juicy portion of the inside, and you can just massacre it in your hand a little bit. And when you start to do that, you're going to feel that slippery liquid that's in the pith of that plant, and that is exactly what you're going to want to use on an area that you have affected by poison ivy. You're going to rub that mucilaginous liquid on the affected area to take advantage of that antihistamine and anti-inflammatory value of this plant. So this is the area of the plant you're going to use, is inside the stem, and you can either cut that stem open or you can break it open to get to that mucilaginous pith and the juice in there, which is what you need. And then again, just rub it on the affected area. As soon as you feel that itch or feel an outbreak of poison ivy, something like that, get that on there really quick. It does grow in areas that poison ivy grows, but that's more than likely because this plant is a water indicator plant and grows in moist areas, and poison ivy does that a lot as well. Okay guys, well, unfortunately jewelweed is really just a quick video. There's not a whole lot to it. It's good for pretty much anti-inflammatory and antihistamine uses. So anything that you have on the surface of your skin that causes a little bit of swelling or itching, you can use that jewelweed on it. We've looked up close at the plant itself a couple of different times, and that's really about all there is to it. The processing is very simple. You just break it open, get to that mucilaginous pith, and that's what you use for your medicine. I appreciate your views. I appreciate your support. I thank you for everything you do for our school, for our family, and for our business, for all of our sponsors, instructors, affiliates, and friends, and I'll be back with another video as soon as I can. Thanks, guys.